What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going out. Make sure y'all hit the like button and the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. So FBI is moving fast. They're already out at Cole Allen's neighborhood checking ring camera footage, from the White House, dinner. I'm sure many of y'all seen it everywhere. Literally was everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. If y'all haven't, there was, a shooting at the White House dinner, and the suspect Cole Allen, is obviously a very we gonna get into Cole Allen. I have some things that I want to share. I definitely have some things that I want to share that I found quite interesting, not only from him but from the left as well. But you have the FBI not only checking, they'll I'm sure ask neighbors, the whole neighborhood for their ring cameras. People have blink cameras and many other things. Check it out.
Take a look at this video. We saw them speaking with neighbors who live here on the alleged gunman street. I heard one of the FBI officials saying that they were checking for ring camera footage. Authorities have identified the suspect in this case as 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance. And hours earlier, authorities also swarmed this area. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office executed a search warrant at Allen's home overnight. Sources tell Fox News that his parents have been cooperating with authorities. And one man who lives here on the alleged shooter street voiced his concern over this entire situation. Take a listen.
Nobody wants anyone bad living that close by, right? So, yeah, I don't. And once again, it's allegations. We don't know the true story, but it seems pretty horrendous so far.
Take a look at this video.
What do you mean by that? He did it. Am I tripping? I mean, that's the person, that obviously, did it. Me personally, I wouldn't want, and the crazy thing is, you don't really know somebody. You don't really know how somebody feel. I mean, we have neighbors that I know for a fact, just people around you. And I'm sure y'all got people around you that you don't really know how they are, how they react. Not even just this, situation, but it can be any other situation when it comes down to it. So it definitely is a scary thing. I'm not even gonna lie. With the family, even though the family is cooperating, you don't really know their motive and how they feel about anything when it comes down to what he did. I have it right here. Senior federal law enforcement sources confirmed to Fox News that the suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting told authorities that he intended to target Trump administration officials. Cole Allen, 31, was identified by authorities as the suspect, noting he outlined his intent and, the manifesto and shared, more so rhetoric, when it comes to President Trump and Christians on social media. It's definitely sad. It's definitely sad that and sickening that you have individual that is like this and that's doing this. It's truly sad. It doesn't matter, going after Trump administration officials. It don't matter, who. It's definitely sickening that you have individual that even has this. And my thing is that this is the exact reason why I was talking about, if y'all haven't seen my videos from yesterday. It just goes to show y'all, when it comes down to the left, the way that you speak, when you speak on certain things and you say certain things, there are people out here that will really, truly do things based off of what they say. And it's truly sickening that, this has happened. You got it right here. Says, media is telling you Cole Allen's motive is unknown, but is now, his social media is deleted. Social media is deleted, of course. It says Cole Allen is extreme left wing. He's pro-transformer. Y'all know what I mean by that. Anti-Trump, anti-Christian. In the Ukraine war advocate. Says anyone telling you otherwise is lying. So you truly have it right here. That this is profile right here. You got his profile. Says, I'm a random California guy who was post about American politics, support for Ukraine, observations of small creatures. I find it absolutely insane. I feel like so many people give you like little signs too. I feel like so many people give you little signs on what, but you people just don't really pay attention to them. And it's random. I feel like it's truly random. That makes sense. You know, when it comes down to it. I'm not going to say that it's random as the individuals who have done this, just based off of a lot of these individuals obviously they're supporting the left. They're supporting Kamala. They're supporting, Biden. They're supporting these individuals. And a lot of them constantly speak. And I'm gonna show y'all a video. Trust me, I'm gonna show y'all a video. Officer Tatum had posted something. It says Caltech engineer Cole Allen, self-described near genius, absorbed years of mainstream media rhetoric that Trump had to be eliminated. Now arrested for the April 25th armed assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Brilliant mind poisoned by propaganda. Let me tell y'all something about this. How I feel about this whole thing when it comes down to it, like I've been stating, when mainstream media and stuff like that, and they push out lies, and they'll say this and they'll say that, and they'll say these different things, and you have this left-wing individual, whether if it's Hakeem Jeffries, whether if it's Tim Walz, whether if it's Ilhan, whether if it's AOC, any individual that'll get Kamala, get anywhere and speak on something and say little things, there are people that will truly act, especially if they have a chance to do so. Or they're getting their mind right to do this thing. I mean, and it's definitely crazy that you have people that is like this. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely crazy. Not to mention, my thing is, I don't understand how, and I will keep asking this question. I don't understand what went on with the Secret Service. I feel like it needs more and better directing when it comes down to it, because I feel like that should have been handled even within the whole building itself, even getting in. I feel like it should be handled. So I feel like, I don't know, like a lot of it is definitely odd. A lot of it is weird, especially, with having this individual right here. You truly have, it's just crazy. It's crazy, the simple fact that you have people that speak on these things, and then you have people that truly act like you obviously seen it before, because it's not the first time that it's happened with President Trump, but it's like people really doing this. I don't know why they always say, the right becomes violent, the right this and the right that, and this, that, and the other. To me personally, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I'm not even trying to be a person that, point fingers, but I just don't see that at all. Seeing on how things have been. This is Cole Allen right here, y'all.
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered a test run on products that have the potential to enrich the Scott to present.
So y'all have Cole Allen, it popped up right here. Again, I'm not, getting into, everything. Y'all know me, I don't go too deep in a lot, but I do find a lot of it just odd. You know what I mean? I find a lot of it odd. The whole thing. I want to show y'all two clips, though. Scott Jennings, speaking facts, and literally going so much of speaking facts when it comes down to the left. Check it out.
I've been in this room on the air live twice now when somebody tried to come in and kill the president. I mean, it's pretty obvious that's what this guy wanted to do, cause maximum damage with the president in the room. I worry about him every day, and I worry about these events. I mean, all those people, think about it. President, vice president, most of the line of succession was in the same room, and somebody was able to get that close. It's scary, frankly. I'll be honest with you. Conservatives feel under attack. I mean, we've had Charlie, we've had 2, 3 assassination attempts on the president. I'm hearing a lot of that this morning. I thought the president was amazing last night. The guy's unflappable. He goes to the White House podium and struck the exact right tone. His rapport with Wei Zhejiang, the head of the White House Correspondents Association, was excellent. I think, they had all gone through something together, and the way he handled it was right on, in my opinion. Final issue for me, law enforcement. These guys are heroes. The guy who took a bullet is a Secret Service agent. He's going to be okay. We're not paying these guys. It's outrageous. 70 days, the Department of Homeland Security with the Secret Service tucked under there, unfunded. It's outrageous. And the people who've got it shut down right now ought to think long and hard about that night last night. And, what that means to a cop who has to show up and take a bullet. Every American ought to be outraged by it.
I'm not going to lie. And that's the sad thing about it. And I feel Scott Jennings, what he's saying right now, but at the same time, you have Americans that truly just don't care. And it's definitely sad. They don't look at that. They look at the simple fact that, okay, it's Trump, and not looking at the fact that not only is it Trump, but it's Melania Trump, it's Carol, it's everybody around him, even the Secret Service, the National Guard, FBI, like it's everybody. It's not just like people, they have it so bad with this whole TDS that it becomes annoying. It truly becomes annoying, and it becomes aggravating that so many people have so much of this judgment and this negative attitude and a disrespect, when it comes down to just human life. You know what I mean? I find it crazy. I truly find it crazy. I feel like it's one of those things of like putting like the politics aside for a second, even if you don't like, but we talking about a human life. I mean, regardless of the fact, and I feel like being 2026, people are very sickening when it comes down to it. Check it out, Scott Jennings.
This guy's obviously another of these left-wing lunatics who's come to kill the president. 3 assassination attempts on the president now. Charlie is dead. You have people on the left lionizing Luigi Mangione.
Well, there's a bar in Wisconsin.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You have polling showing a tolerance for political violence on the left, and I heard Hakeem Jeffries say this week it's maximum warfare all the time.
We are in an era of maximum warfare. Everywhere, all the time.
We have a violent streak on the left and a rhetoric problem on the left, and it must be acknowledged today.
So when I was at the Department of Justice, what we found is after the 2020 election, there was a significant rise of threats to all elected leaders, state legislators, some who were killed, to our president, Joe Biden at the time, Barack Obama. Someone tried to go into his residence. This is a problem.
This is not president.
Hold on. There are several
3.
assassination attempts
3.
to other presidents that were not successful. I agree. It should be investigated about why they continue. What are the failures of the Secret Service?
And the Democratic just quickly, the Speaker of the House in Minnesota, a Democrat, lost her life to political violence this past summer. This is not solely a problem on the left. It is a problem across the board. It is a rising crisis.
Don't downplay it this
way. It is
a
rising crisis in this country.
Stop generalizing the left.
Appalling.
And stop generalizing the left as the entire left.
Candidates campaigning with Hassan
Piker. Listen to me. Stop generalizing the left as the left is
the
entire problem.
Exactly. When it comes down to Hassan Piker, even it's not an argument. It's not an argument whatsoever. I feel like it's every. My thing is, I just hate the simple fact. I know hate is a strong word. My mom always told me hate is a strong word, but I truly hate it. The simple fact that it's always that. Let's bring other individuals in this. Barack Obama, Biden. Let's throw them in there too. It's not even a simple fact that it's Trump. So many people, MAGA is they're acting like this because they had a shooting at the White House. Bro, that's serious. I feel like it doesn't matter who the president is, that's serious. I feel like you can't sit there and try to justify, try to make it seem like, okay, well, Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and we've had many, bro, don't do that. I feel like that's one of the bogus things a person can do. And her at her grown age, bro, come on, man. Gotta do better. You got it right here. It says, yes, Ilhan Omar did post this. This literally just goes to show y'all on how bad things are. It says the leader of the P Protection Party, and y'all see what that is trying to deflect attention from his name being all over the Epstein files. At least in Somalia, the SQP not elect them. So when you have stuff like this, it's truly not okay. People see that. I'm telling y'all, people see that, and then they run with it. And y'all see the things that happen. It sadly happens when people see stuff like this. I'm telling y'all. It's definitely crazy. You have a person that speaks like this. Says Ilhan Omar knowingly, falsely called Trump a P. A few months later, a lunatic tries to unalive President Trump and repeats this same lie in his manifesto. Isn't that pretty wild? Ilhan Omar incited and inspired the shooter with her lies. She knew exactly what she was doing, and this is posted. It's definitely crazy. Ilhan Omar, people got to realize, man, like, and then y'all want to know the crazy thing about all of this is the simple fact that who did she just meet with? She literally just, and Scott Jennings just said it, Hassan Piker. I mean, it's just stuff like that, bro. The same person that said that Americans deserve what happened, when it came down to 9/11. Like, come on, bro. I find a lot of it odd. Not even that. I mean, you have Tim Walz here. Tim Walz had posted yesterday. Walz posted yesterday, political violence has become all, basically saying that he's grateful, of the response of law enforcement at the White House dinner. Not, glad that, everyone is safe and nobody, is causing no, nothing like that. He's basically thanking the law enforcement. Y'all know it's more so of them more, how can I say this? They're trying to give an apology without giving an apology. Basically. I mean, just check out the things that they say.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
See what I mean?
Let that sink in, and don't be a damn bit afraid of saying it, because that's exactly who he is.
When you constantly hype people up, how you think they're going to react? And then you're hearing it from multiple individuals on the left. Make it make sense. Check it out. I'm not lying when I say stuff like this.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I'm telling you,
the country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost,
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and the hell out of him.
I have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's
blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is.
I can't. And the crazy thing is, it definitely sucks. It definitely sucks because I've had to edit this. I know I'm going to have to edit this because that's how bad things are when it comes to this video. Y'all can find this video. Eric Daugherty posted it. So y'all can go find it. I'll try to leave the link. If y'all are looking for the link, just comment down below and I'll share the link with you. I should still have it. But if I don't remember, sometimes I don't remember to do that. But it's that bad to where I can't even show this in my video because of what they're putting out. This is a whole 2 minutes and 20 seconds full of the left and different clips. And I know people probably like, oh, it's just 2 minutes. That's all it really takes from multiple individuals to say something that's slick for somebody to hear somewhere and they go with it. You know what? And mind you, they're already thinking it. They're already having this hatred. And then when they hear individuals saying that people should do this and people should do that, and they're seeing people that are truly, in a sense, not, I ain't going to say getting away with it, but they seeing that these government officials, you know, on the left are getting away with a lot of. I'm telling y'all, bro. People, I'm telling y'all, they're hyping them up. Let's hear it from Ms. Cook.
Washington has created a permission structure. They didn't have to say, go shoot Trump. They did something more dangerous and far more acceptable in our polite society. They spent years telling Americans that Trump is Hitler, that democracy ends if he wins, that his supporters are fascists. That's normal political disagreement. Is not disagreement at all, but an emergency, a crisis, a call for resistance. And then they act shocked when unstable people absorb that message. And here's the part the media doesn't want to say out loud. If you tell people over and over again that the man is the next Hitler, that America becomes a dictatorship if he survives politically, that every institution must stop him, then you're creating a moral framework where someone can convince himself that he's not committing violence, that he's actually saving democracy. That is a permission structure. No one has to hand him a written order. No one has to say the quiet part out loud. They just have to continue to say and make political violence seem morally understandable. For 10 years, they turned Trump from an opponent into an existential threat. They turned his voters into villains. They turned elections into an apocalypse. This isn't normal politics. This is radicalization. And the worst part, the double standard that's impossible to ignore today, is when the right uses heated rhetoric. The media diagnoses the entire movement in 5 minutes. They blame talk radio. They blame conservative media. They blame a map. They blame a slogan. They blame everyone. But when the left spends decades calling Trump Hitler, fascist, authoritarian, and a threat to survival of democracy, suddenly they want nuance. Suddenly, they want patience. They want to wait for a 900-page investigation before anybody can actually tell the truth. No, this is two scandals at once. The first scandal is security. How did a gunman get that close?
Exactly.
Were there security failures?
Exactly.
Funding failures, screening, perimeter security, intelligence? Were there any warnings after Butler, after even West Palm Beach? And now this, the American people actually want answers. But here's the second scandal, and it's cultural. How did assassination imagery suddenly become background noise? How did death signs outside a political event suddenly become a protest? And how fast did those protesters come out there? How did calling a former and current president Hitler become normal political language? The symbolism is brutal. The same political media class that spent years laundering anti-Trump hysteria was gathered in one room, and suddenly the consequences of national instability were not happening somewhere else. They were at their own door. You cannot pour gasoline on the country for 10 years and then act shocked when there's smoke. You can't call a man Hitler every single day and then pretend that an unstable person might hear that as permission. You cannot build a permission structure for political violence and then hide behind civility when the consequences actually arrive. We need answers on the security failure, but we also need honesty about the moral failure that's facing our country, because America cannot survive a political culture where one side gets blamed for rhetoric and the other side gets excused for creating the conditions where violence starts to feel righteous.
And it's definitely insane like that. And that brings me back to the whole security thing. Like, I truly feel like it's more so of getting that together and getting that situated, because it's just, it definitely shouldn't have gotten that far. Me personally, I don't know how y'all feel, but me personally, I feel like it shouldn't have gotten that far like it did. I'm glad that, you know, they got it stopped before it got worse, but there should have never been, you know, any Secret Service agent shot or even getting that far again with any type of weapons. You know, seeing how they found a shotgun, AR handguns, knives, and all of that. I truly find that, you know, truly disgusting. I truly do. Check it out here from Reverend Jordan Wells.
I don't want to hear anything from Democrats again. The same messages that say, well, we're just, there's no place for violence. You know, they look like they all posted the same thing because they don't care. The Democrats don't care about if Trump got killed. If Trump got killed, they would all be celebrating. That is the truth. That is the truth. And so I don't want to hear anything from the media or from the Democrats about how there's no place for violence when they are the ones that have been propagating violence. It's not a right-wing problem. The left is the violent side. Name me a leftist that's been killed, right, by a person on the right. Name me where Obama and Kamala Harris have to fend for their life, have to fear for their life everywhere they go. When is the last time we saw Obama almost assassinated? Because only one side is violent. Because only one side is godless. Because only one side don't know Jesus. I said everybody on the left don't know Jesus. But I'm saying most of the people on the left are atheists, agnostic, believe in different beliefs. They don't have a God-rooted morality. This is the 4th time they've tried to kill the president of the United States. The 4th time. This is insane. The man can't even go to a correspondent dinner without some lunatic that they have weaponized normal people. Under this administration, because of how crazy and Trump derangement, they have weaponized people that are not normal people that you would see as crazy. They have weaponized these people. And it is it's sickening. It has to stop.
It definitely got to stop. It definitely got to stop. But one thing about it is that, sadly, this will continue to happen as long as they keep getting online and keep getting, on TikTok and on X and, on the news or doing these speeches and saying stuff like this, because it's just not going to stop. I mean, this is something that people will continue to do as long as others are trying to allow it. Speaking on the left, not to mention, to avoid that, from happening, they have to get, this whole Secret Service and all of that, in action and figure it out, because it's not it. I tell y'all right now, it's not it. You literally got it right here, and it's a true thing, regardless, it's definitely, sickening. It's definitely sickening when it comes down to it. And I truly, hate it. The simple fact that people are doing this. It's definitely sickening. You would have people that make, fun of, and say things about Joe Biden. And although, it's not right, when people are obviously talking about somebody and making jokes about somebody, or, he's falling, or he's saying this or saying that, obviously, but it hasn't gotten as far as what they're doing to President Trump. I'll tell you that right now. Not nearly. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Catch y'all next one.